Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. And good morning. On behalf of Mayor Adams, I'd like to welcome everyone to One Police Plaza for the swearing-in ceremony of the 48th Police Commissioner of the City of New York. So to begin, it is my honor to introduce the Mayor of the City of New York, the Honorable Eric Adams.
You know, this moment and the moments when we bring on police commissioners often reflect on my only son, Jordan. I love Jordan so much. And oftentimes, his teachers will often say I was an overbearing dad. When Jordan went to college for his first time, I walked around the entire campus. I wanted to see where he slept. I wanted to find out the students that were there. It was the first time he ever left home in the capacity that he did. And I would often visit and just find out what was going on. And they just got so annoyed that this man was always present. That's how I feel about the NYPD. I spent 22 years of my life here, and I saw things that I loved, and I saw things that I was concerned about. I remember my time in the police academy, the level of uncertainty. I remember the moments that I had, and even my chief advisor's husband, Glenn Martin, he and I came through the academy together. And I said one day, if I become the mayor of the city of New York, I would do everything possible, not only to use the agency to make this city a safe city for those of us who came out during '84. We saw crack and crime everywhere. We saw people afraid to live in their streets. There were drills in many communities when you hear something that sounded like a gunshot. It even can be a car that backfired. Your children had to learn how to fall to the ground. Young people no longer slept in their beds. They slept on the floor because of the drive-bys and bullets piercing windows. You saw crack vials everywhere. Our subway system was filled with graffiti and crime and homelessness. And not until Bill Bratton came on board and realized we could make a real impact on public safety did we start to turn the corner and change not only what we did in the city, but it cascaded throughout the entire country. At that time, I realized the power of a police commissioner. A police commissioner does more than keep us safe. It is the economic stimulus package that allows businesses to return and communities to thrive and homeowners to feel as though the city belonged to them again. There is no other role in this city that has such a drastic impact in the quality of life of a city than the police commissioner. That is the title. That is the role. And if it's done correctly and fairly, it can bridge the gap between communities and make people believe again in what's possible. The prerequisite to prosperity is public safety. That is the truth. And I'm clear and I'm unwavering. I will push back against anyone who believes we should allow those that do harmful things to good people to reign in our city. That cannot happen. And the message is clear. We will not send our men and women into harm's way and then abandon them when they take action. The role of the police commissioner is to lead from the front. And this is my baby. This is my Jordan. And I'm not turning my Jordan over to anyone that does not understand how imperative it is we give support to the people who do the job and require those who put the shield on their chest and wear the uniform to do it with the dignity and respect and nobility that is deserving of a police department, the largest and most important police department on the globe, the NYPD. The NYPD. And we've accomplished something historical that should not be ignored. Took 110 mayors before we realized that a woman could lead the department under Commissioner Sewell. And now we're continuing that with the second woman leading the department. And I needed a battle-tested leader, someone that understands what it is to lead. 17 years in government, 12 years in the New York City Police Department. We know how to fight crime. Don't get it wrong. 10 straight months of reducing crime. Came into the department with a 40%, into the city as the mayor with a 40% increase in crime, and morale was low. We were not paying our police officers the salary that they deserve. Under Pat Lynch and the PBA, we were able to give them the salary so we didn't hemorrhage our officers to go to other municipalities. They would stay here to protect the people of this city. We know how to bring down crime. We know how to remove guns off our streets. We know how to go after the ghost cars. We know how to protect New Yorkers. Over 3,000 protests in the city. People told us we could not have the Israeli parade. I said, like hell we won't. New York don't run from crime. We fight crime. And this would be the safest big city, not only in America, but across the globe. We know how to keep people safe. But we must turn the corner, must bring the innovation in the thought processing that Commissioner Tisch brought during her first time here and what she brought into DSNY. A good manager can manage anywhere. And I push back on anyone that believes she had to wear a police uniform to take the police department to the next direction. She can wear any uniform and accomplish the task. She is a battle-tested leader. And you know, I wish I could say this is her day only. But it's more than her day. It's the Tisch family, the legacy, just good New Yorkers and great Americans. You have contributed so much to our city and country. You have given back in your benevolence, and you fought against hate across the entire globe. You produced an amazing daughter, granddaughter, and aunt. And your sons and nephews should be proud of you on what this family has done. And I thought hard and long. And there were many people who wanted to have this prestigious job. There's something special about being a police commissioner in the city of New York. But when I looked over not only her credentials, I looked over the resume of the Tisch family, and I realized who I was getting. And I'm so pleased and honored to have you as the next police commissioner of the city of New York. It means so much to all of us that you have decided to take upon this task as we move our police department into the next level and deeper into the century. And once again show why this is New York City finest. And you are now the leader of the finest. Thank you so much for this position. Let me swear you in to this title. We're going to hold the Bible. We're going to bring the sanitation commissioner because you're currently the commissioner of DSNY. We're going to retire you from that and bring you to your next role.
Thank you, Mayor Adams. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the Department of Sanitation's Chief of Department, Anthony Penalino.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Good morning, Mayor Adams, Commissioner Tisch, and everyone here in attendance today. Commissioner, it's been quite the adventure. What we were able to accomplish in the last 2.5 years, most people couldn't do in 50. From your first day on the sanitation department, you hit the ground running, and you never stopped once to take a breath. It was because of your direction and leadership we were able to make some of the impossibles possible. And we're in a better place because of that. I speak on behalf of everyone here with me in the DSNY when I say thank you. To the NYPD, you're now going to experience what it's like to have Jessica Tisch in your corner. She's a lion ready to pounce on anybody that mistreats her workforce, and she is ready to fight anything you need to succeed. Her passion and her compassion is never ending, and she will always be there for you to have your back when you need it most. Trust me, I know from experience. Commissioner, I want you to know that I'm extremely grateful for the time we had together over the last couple of years. I value everything we did together, and most importantly, I value our friendship. And I stand here today as a proud New Yorker, and I say confidently that I could comfortably rest my head on my pillow at night knowing that you're at the helm keeping our streets safe. And I'm truly excited to see your transition in fighting grime to fighting crime. So I'm honored to present you with a plaque that we give out on the sanitation. The New York City Department of Sanitation is proud to present the certificate of retirement to Jessica Tisch, Commissioner. The certificate is awarded with sincere thanks and appreciation for 2 years of dedicated and outstanding service to the Department of Sanitation. Thank you for everything. Good luck.
And thank you, Chief Penalino. At this time, I'm going to ask Commissioner Tisch to come up with her children, Harry, Larry, and Max. And I also would like to invite her mom, Merrill, to come up. She will be holding her grandmother Sylvia's Bible for the swearing in. Oh, Harry brought it up. And now Mayor Adams will administer the oath of office to Commissioner Tisch.
Please raise your right hand. I do hereby pledge and declare
hereby pledge and declare
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the position of
Police
Police
Commissioner
Commissioner of the New York City Police Department
of the New York City Police Department
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Commissioner Tisch.
I now introduce the 48th Police Commissioner of the City of New York, the Honorable Jessica Tisch.
Wow. I remember the first time that I took that oath. It was a very different experience. October 1st, 2008, my first day in One Police Plaza. I was in a dark conference room. Well, actually, conference room is quite generous. It was really an oversized closet with a giant refrigerator and a small rectangular table that sat 6 in the candidate processing unit of the Personnel Bureau. The name says it all. I really felt like I was being processed. Reams of outrageously repetitive paperwork, so many rules, only a black pen, God forbid you dare use a blue pen. Lots of waiting, more paperwork, and then more waiting, then a lecture on pension plans. At the end of the day, in walks who I would later learn to be Arnold Wexler, the then vaunted Assistant Commissioner of the Employee Management Division. At the time, the table was littered with remnants of our 1-hour lunch break. Commissioner directed myself and the 2 others being processed to rise at our seats, raise our right hands, and repeat after him. And we did. I'll be honest, looking back, Fresh out of school, I heard and said the words, and I respected them. But over time, I have certainly gained a deeper understanding of their import. To hereby pledge and declare, to faithfully discharge the duties of. For 17 years, I can say without reservation that I have done my best. I have tried my hardest, and I have asked others to do the same on behalf of the people of this city. Sometimes it's good enough. Sometimes there are even moments of greatness. Other times you miss. But when you miss, you wake up the next day and you go after it even harder. And along the way, you learn, you grow, you love. And without realizing it, you feel in your bones what it is to pledge and declare, what it is to faithfully discharge the duties of. I felt the weight of the responsibility of that oath many times, but never more than right here and right now. That's why this morning I showed up at the Department of Sanitation and I walked over here to One Police Plaza with our sanitation chiefs. For me, they represent the thousands of public servants at every level: police officers, sanitation workers, computer associate software, certified land WAN administrators, PAAs, inspectors, executive agency councils, PCTs, administrative staff analysts, to name just a few, who have worked with me on this charmed journey to care for our neighborhoods. Of the thousands whom I have had the privilege to work with, I need to call out a few people. As I was coming up in the department, there were 4 women who served as role models that are here today. These 3-star chiefs took a sledgehammer to the glass ceiling at the New York City Police Department before my eyes. Chief Joanne Jaffe, Chief Kathleen O'Reilly, Chief Lori Pollack, and Chief Juanita Holmes. Thank you, chiefs. I promise to do for other women in this department what you did for me. We are joined today by former Police Commissioner Dermot Shea. Dermot, I really enjoyed sparring with you. You are a worthy adversary, and I am certain that the way you pushed me, both when you were Chief of Detectives and when you were Chief of Crime Control Strategies, led to better outcomes for our cops. We are also joined today by 2 absolute giants in the law enforcement profession, former police commissioners Ray Kelly and Bill Bratton. I have been blessed in my life to have access to the finest education anyone could dream of, but no schooling could ever compare to the opportunity to learn directly from these extraordinary men. Thank you both so much. To Mayor Adams, you can't ask for a finer boss. You have trusted my judgment, given me incredible latitude and, yes, independence to be thoughtful and creative. You have pushed me to be bold when I needed pushing, and you threw your full support behind initiatives and programs that absolutely destroyed the unsatisfactory status quo, which others would have seen as too politically hot to handle. That is emphatically what this city needs: a courageous leader. To the men and women of the NYPD, my greatest hope is that together we will return this noble undertaking, this job of high moral purpose, to a time and a place where you want your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews to follow in your footsteps and become police officers. And finally, to the city that I serve, the police exist to eliminate fear and disorder. Your cops, like generations before them, nobly put their lives on the line each and every time they put on that uniform to protect you and your families. and they do a damn good job of it. We will continue to do that most important foundational work to make you safe, to make you feel safe, and to improve your quality of life across the city. Today, as I take this oath that generations of police officers have taken before me, in the presence of my two sons, Larry and Harry, my family, my coworkers, my friends, with my grandfather's police chaplain shield and on my grandmother's Bible, I solemnly swear that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the position of Police Commissioner of the City of New York to the very best of my abilities, just as I have done as Sanitation Commissioner, as DUA Commissioner, as Deputy Commissioner of Information Technology, as Counsel to the Police Commissioner, as Director of Counterterrorism Policy and Planning, and as Intelligence Research Specialist, Level 2, so help me God. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Tisch, and welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the swearing in of the Police Commissioner briefing. On behalf of Mayor Adams and Police Commissioner Tisch, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today. Please have a pleasant day and a safe trip home. Thank you.